Steve Jewin, MMA Mania.
Hey, Steve. Dan here again. All set for Mr. Schilling?
Sure thing.
Here we go. All right, Steve, you're on with Joe. Go ahead.
Joe Stitch 'em Up Schilling. This is Steve Jewin from MMA Mania. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Excellent. And you had an excellent performance at Bellator 219 against Keith Barry. I know you're going to say it's been a long time in the works, but what do you credit your improved performance in your last couple of Bellator fights?
That's a really good question, Steve. I think maturity and just taking it more seriously. I think I was going back and forth in MMA and kickboxing. My foot was always kind of one foot out the door, and I don't think the focus was really there so much for either one. And now it's been a year or two now where it's only MMA, and the growth is starting to show.
Does that mean you're done with kickboxing then? You're not going to entertain returning to it?
Yeah, I'm all set with that. I don't think there's a whole lot left that I could accomplish or do with kickboxing. The focus has been MMA, and that's where we're at.
Well, that's understandable. You did accomplish pretty much every goal you set out for in the kickboxing world, so now's that time to try to take over MMA the same way, just like you took over that fight with Keith Barry.
Yeah, guess so.
The thing I noticed most of all during that fight was that whenever he would try to get the fight to the ground and would try to get in some offense, you just completely shut him down. It was like every move he made, you had a counter for it.
Well, that's good to hear. I guess it kind of played out that way. I remember the third round, got a lot more comfortable on the ground when I he had the mount at one point in the third round, but when I reversed that, I felt really comfortable and aware of what I was supposed to be doing. It was kind of a big moment for me. Usually in MMA, it had always seemed kind of like, oh shit, what do I do here? What do I do there? And now I feel like I really have a game plan and understanding, and it shows.
Yeah, and once you got that reversal, you started showing us the old stitch 'em up with elbows that were slicing him open left and right.
Yeah. It's good to be able to have my elbows again. When I was doing kickboxing for a long time with Glory and with Bellator kickboxing, there was just no elbows. So I forgot how much I enjoyed throwing them. It's been nice having them back.
I'm sure Tony Johnson is not looking forward to them either, although it is an interesting thing with him, the fact that he used to fight in Bellator as a heavyweight, and now he's coming all the way down to middleweight for this fight. Do you think he's going to be able to make that weight and be able to compete successfully with you?
Yeah, I mean, sure hope so. That he makes the weight. The weight class is definitely a big part of it, but I don't know. I hope he stubs his toe on the way to the ring, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you don't want him to bang his head into a pipe like, who was that? Kevin Randleman, I think that happened to. May he rest in peace. You don't want any freak accidents on the way out there.
Yeah, I don't know. He walks in with a little limp and a broken toe, I'd be okay with it.
As long as you get paid, right? That's what's matter at the end of the day, is you got to get paid for this full training camp you put in.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you see things like the last few weeks in MMA, we've had one fight after another end with an eye poke, and as somebody who's been in more than one discipline, you know all about how fingers outstretched can get caught in the eye and how disappointing it can be for fans and for the fighters themselves who spent all that money on a training camp to not get to fight.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that I think that they've done so much over the years of developing the gloves and getting them the curve, and I'm not sure what else they can really do about that, but it's super disappointing when that happened this past weekend. So year.
There's probably not anything more that can be done at this point. I don't think the redesign of the gloves would help. I think if you redesigned them to the point you couldn't outstretch your fingers, then people wouldn't be able to get takedowns or feel their way around for a submission.
Yep, that's the problem they're running into.
How would you, as an experienced veteran of combat sports, tell other fighters, here's what you need to do to not have that situation happen?
Yeah, I don't know, man. My last fight, I accidentally poked Keith Barry in the eye, so I don't know if I'm the right guy to talk about that. But,
that is true,
Definitely something that happened, Being that I've had boxing gloves on for so many years, you don't realize how relaxed and open your hand is a lot. So definitely an issue that we all need to be aware of.
All right. Well, we hope it works out this time and nobody gets poked in the eye, not you, not him. But how do you feel about Tony as an opponent overall? What is your assessment of him?
Seems like a good opponent. Has a pro boxing background, I guess, and pretty good record. I know he comes from AKA, which is a well-respected team. So he's a good opponent. But I think at the end of the day, that's what he is, an opponent. And yeah, I think I'm supposed to win this fight. I'm supposed to win all my fights. So. I'm a nice guy. So.
Yeah. Where does it go from here after you get the win over him? What do you want next in Bellator?
I just would like another fight as soon as possible. The more often I get in there, the hotter I stay. Keep growing, keep improving each time. It's better. The long breaks between fights usually close me down when it gets stagnant. So I like to stay busy. So hopefully I can get a quick turnaround after this fight.
Do you think maybe they need to do something like a middleweight tournament so that you could stay as busy as you want, be constantly having fights?
Yeah, I'm sure that's on the plan or whatever for Scott Coker. And no doubt he's working on going through all of those weight classes. But yeah, it'll be exciting when that happens.
Yeah, and we've got lots of good action coming up in another tournament here right before your fight. We've got the second bracket of the Featherweight Grand Prix going on. So, what do you think of the tournament that's going on right now?
Man, I got a lot of friends in that tournament. I think it's really exciting. It was awesome to be in that. Yeah, I think it's dope. I think I'm going to go to the fight this weekend here in Los Angeles. And yeah, there's so many really high-level guys at that weight class that it's hard to take a favorite. So it's interesting how the tournament plays out.
Well, I know you said it's hard to pick a favorite, but you also mentioned having friends in the tournament. So, of your friends in the tournament, who would you like to see go all the way?
See, that's the problem. I can't pick a favorite because I have so many friends in the tournament. I pick any one of them, they're all bad.
Okay, that's fair.
I,
Go ahead.
I want to see them all. I want to see a four-way draw where everybody wins. Nobody loses.
Or maybe they could book like a fatal four-way pro wrestling style where everybody has to get in the ring at the same time.
Yeah, there you go.
So, speaking of which, I know you've done kickboxing and mixed martial arts, but have you ever entertained that idea of doing any pro wrestling? Has anybody ever approached you with that?
No, never crossed my mind. My son's a big fan of it though, so he'd probably love the idea, but I never thought about it.
Is it just that it's too scripted? Do you not feel like it would be a useful exhibition of your skill?
I just think it would be like not. I don't know. I just haven't considered it. I like actually fight. They sell and promote the fight, but don't actually fight. My thing is I'm pretty good at fighting, so I've just been focused on that.
No, that's perfectly understandable, but it's always funny to me how wrestling always tries to make you think it's real when it's not, and sometimes the exact opposite happens in mixed martial arts, where everybody's trying to make it be like sports entertainment, but really it doesn't even need to be. Like you said, you could just go out there and fight.
Yeah, I think it's important that they try to capture both sides, and tell the backstories and promote sport. I could just, yeah, I do without the shiny boots and the speedo and the steroids and the sweat cream or whatever they're doing.
Right. But you don't have anything against the entertainers like the caveman David Rickles. He always comes up with some wild, crazy entrance every time he fights.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dave Rickles. I really enjoy his entrances and whatnot. But David Rickles is also a bad motherfucker in fight. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
nice
yeah.
that guys can do both, but definitely not one without the other.
Oh, I agree. And yeah, David Rickles, easily top 10 in Bellator all time for greatest fights and not just greatest entrances. But that's what we want here too with you and Tony Johnson is a great fight regardless of the entrance. So I know you plan to go out there and put on a show and deliver some fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he has a should be a really exciting fight. And I know a lot of people that trained with him and know him in the past, and they're all telling me, "Hey, man, take this one seriously. He's a good opponent." So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been training really hard, and yeah, it's one more week to go.
Right, one more week, and then the dividends of all that hard work will pay off. So before I let you go, Joe, I want to give you a chance to thank any of your sponsors and teammates or promote anything that you'd like.
I just want to thank all the fans for listening to this. I hope everybody enjoys my fight and tunes in to Bellator next weekend.
Absolutely, you're not going to want to miss Joe Stitch 'em Up Schilling doing what he does best, hitting people with hard ass elbows and making them bleed. So thanks, Joe. We appreciate the time today.
Thank you, Steve. Have a good one.
You too, and thanks, Dan, as well.
All right, Steve. Thank you.
Yep, bye bye.